Peter Della Penna with USA Vice Captain Sushil Nadkarni after the team's 32-run loss to Nepal here at ICC World Cricket League Division 4 in Kuala Lumpur. Sushil, the team lost the toss. Nepal batted first. It looked like it was going to be an excellent batting track. You guys put some pressure early on. There were a lot of play and misses, but from fairly early on in the match, the fielding let the side down, and it continued over the course of the innings. There were half a dozen missed chances at least throughout the innings, and that seemed to be the difference today. What went wrong out there?
Well, I think I really don't know what went wrong. You know, we were well prepared for this game. We knew this was a must-win game, and basically we had talked a lot in the team meetings about this game. So to come out and you know, miss so many chances in the field, this was by far probably our weakest performance in the field over the last 3 games. So I really don't have an explanation for what happened out there.
Subhash Kakarel, the Nepal wicketkeeper, was just named man of the match. Scored 115. He was on 22 when there was a missed run-out opportunity on him, and there were several other missed chances early on. It allowed Nepal to score 111 runs in their opening partnership that spanned 29 overs. They had that lengthy partnership, but it wasn't a very quick partnership. It was the runs were scored at less than 4 and over. I mean, at that point in the match, did you feel the match was even? Did you feel you were in front, they were in front? What was your assessment at that stage?
I think for me personally, I was thinking they would. I was doing some calculations in my mind, and I thought they would end up around 230, 240, given the way they were going, and given the type of wicket this was turning out to be. I still backed our team to go out and chase that total. I think when they ended up at 259, I felt like we gave away 30 extra runs in the field at the end of the day, and that probably made the difference to the game result.
In their batting power play from overs 36 through 40, they scored, by my count, 46 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Would you say that was one of the key moments in the first innings, or was there something else that stuck out in your mind?
No, I think that probably is a good assessment there, because in a power play, you know, you don't want to give away more than 30 runs, and you want to try and get 2 or 3 wickets. So the fact that if they got 46 and lost just 1 wicket, then they pretty much gained momentum in that power play, and they pretty much won that power play. So
they finally finished on 258 for 8 in their 50 overs. Now, mentioned before, this was a very good batting track. You said you backed yourselves to chase that down, but it looked like the odds were stacked against you, just from the standpoint that you guys had been in the field for 3.5 hours in the heat here, and it's been very hot all week long. How much did the heat, how much energy did it take out of you guys?
Well, I think personally, for me while batting, I felt pretty fresh out there. The conditions today itself were, for me personally, and I think for the team, they weren't that bad, so to speak. I know it's been hot, but I felt the game against Denmark was really bad in the field. But for us to come out, you know, we built some partnerships out there, so the guys were inside waiting for their opportunity to come in and bat. I think overall, the conditions itself were not an issue in us losing this game.
We saw the strategy game. We've seen it many times before against Nepal, where you've been shifted down the order basically to bat against spin. They've got a heavy spin contingent, but your primary role is supposed to be as an opening batsman. Do you feel like the team selection is good enough where the team batting order needs to be shifted for games like this to accommodate the weaknesses of spin for some of the other players in the team?
Well, I think it's a strategic move, you know. Now I would say this move has worked 3 out of 3 times against this team. We know they have pretty good spinners, and their fielding backs up their bowling. So, you know, when we talked about it, I felt like if something has worked for us in the past, why not do it again? And for me personally, it worked again, because I was able to get some runs. for the team and you know, position a team for a win. So I think it doesn't matter if you're an opener. It's putting the right players in the right positions against different teams. I'll consider myself an opener coming out next game.
You put on an 89-run stand with Steve Messiah for the 4th wicket. At the time, with 12 overs to go, you guys were 182 for 3, and you needed 77 runs with 12 overs to go, 7 wickets in hand. I mean, at that stage, did you feel you were almost there, almost across the line for the win?
Definitely, I felt like we were very, very close, because if you look at it, we needed about 7 and over, and we had 7 wickets in hand. So, you know, from that point on, I thought we were well on track. As you saw, the game plans fell through after Steve and I got out pretty close to each other, and we have to get back and talk about it and come up with better game plans to execute in the next game.
There were 3 wickets that were lost in the span of 9 balls. Took the team from 185 for 3 to 188 for 6. Do you think some of those shots were not necessarily panic shots, but do you feel like some of those shots were as a result of pressure, trying and go for some big shots just a little bit too soon?
It's difficult to say, you know. It's the batters out there, they know what they're trying to do. It's easy to play cricket from the outside and you know, make comments on what they should have done and not done. So I think, you know, the guys out there probably had some ideas on how to approach the innings, and as you know, it didn't work out. So I don't think I can comment on the kind of shots that were played.
You finished with 84. The shot that you played to get out looked like it was going to go for 4, and then fielder at point took the catch of the match. Do you feel like that summed up the day, just the difference between the two sides, the fielding? They took all their catches and you guys just overall struggled?
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, that's probably the big difference between the two teams. I think we tried our best from a batting standpoint. I seriously thought that shot was going for a 4 until he plucked it out of the air. So yeah, I mean, things like that brings up the whole team morale, and catches like that win matches, and that's probably what worked for them.
You guys have a day off to regroup, and then you face Singapore on the final day of the group stage. You still have an outside chance of finishing in the top 2, but you'll need some help from Nepal, and Nepal needs to beat Denmark, and you need to beat Singapore and still have a good enough run rate to pass Denmark. You're right now, you're ahead of Singapore on that run rate. You lost to Singapore 2 years ago with Division 5 by 99 runs. I know it was 2 years ago, but the side isn't too much different from what it is now. How confident are you that the team can regroup and come out with a win?
Well, I think we'll do our best to regroup and make plans and come out fighting. These games are very tough on any given day. You know, any team can beat anybody. So we'll try our best. We'll try to study the Singapore team as well through our video analyst, and we'll try to come out and play hard.
How confident are you, having played both Denmark and Nepal, that Nepal, you think, can help you guys out and get that win over Denmark on the last day?
Well, I'm hoping they will. I'm hoping they can come out and keep their slate clean. And then if we come out second, then we see them again in the finals. So we'll just be optimistic and try and come out hard after the day's rest.
All right, USA Vice Captain Sushil Nadkarni, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Peter.